I speak with a lot of people that seem to gravitate towards bank accounts because they like that safety, they like the liquidity. But there's several challenges with banks that they need to be aware of, right? So when investing, what are the challenges? It helps to take the cap off the pen. What are the challenges with bank account money? First, you have what's called inflation. If you didn't know, your dollar is not worth $1 at the end of the year. It's worth 97 cents. Your money in the bank accounts are eroded by something called inflation, right? So usually by 3 to 4% each year. So what that means is over time, your $100,000 or $20,000 or $50,000 isn't worth that anymore. Over time, it erodes. The buying power erodes. And I have a great example I like to tell people. So I had a gentleman sitting in the chair right over there about 6 months ago. And he came in, he was beaming because he had roughly $500,000 that he took off the table. The market started here, went down, and went back up. So he, in 2008, he got out right before 2008, and he basically went down, and then it went back up, and here we are in 2018. The thing is, he never got back in the market. So let's shelf the conversation that he missed one of the best stock markets in stock market history, right? So one of the best bull markets he missed. We'll set that in the conversation aside. But the inflation, let's take about the inflation factor here. So on $500,000 at 3% inflation. So you have $15,000 that was eroded by inflation. So multiply that by 10 years is $150,000 that was eroding from his $500,000 portfolio. As soon as I explained this to the smug gentleman sitting in that chair, the look washed away very quickly on his face. So understand, the reason I'm telling you this is don't fall into that trap of, I guess, comfortability or the illusion of safety. Yes, you have FDIC insurance of $250,000 with a bank, but again, what does that cost? There's a cost to the liquidity. So make sure you're not falling into that trap. Next, you have basically something called the standard of living, where the price of everything doubles every 20 to 30 years. I remember when I used to buy a comic book as a kid. A comic book was like 10 cents, 25 cents. I went to buy one of my kids, I bought them a comic book recently, and it was $2.25, which blew my mind. But knowing that standard of living, everything gets more expensive. I think everyone will agree, nothing gets less expensive. So next we have something called teaser rates and fees, where some people may think that they're getting 1 or 2% return when they first get in. Maybe there's a bank promo, or they drop it after 6 months, or interest rates may go down. So you may think you're getting a good rate of return, you may not be. Also, if you're not maintaining a certain minimum, then they may be charging you, nickel and diming you with certain money. So it's important that you pay attention to the fine print when you go put your money in a bank. Next, you have something called opportunity cost, where rather than making a fraction of a percent as you're probably making your checking or savings account right now, you could be making 5 to 10% over here in a better investment. So again, that's opportunity cost. Finally, you have what's called the illusion of safety, the illusion of security, where, yes, even though you're insured for FDIC up to $250,000 in a bank, understand that every man, let's say we had another catastrophe like 2008. If every man, woman, and child ran to the bank in a panic and tried to take their money all at once, do you think the banks would be able to pay every single person that money? The answer is no. They'd have to give you an IOU, right? That's kind of a scary thought. The reason is because the actual currencies that exist in the world only represent about 9% of the money that exists. The rest are sitting in pixels or on a computer somewhere, right? They're in security deposits. So with that in mind, limited access to physical, tangible currency in the world. It's only 9% of the money that exists. Illusion of safety, where, again, you wouldn't have access to all that money. Now, I get occasionally, this is rare, but I get some people that say, well, what if there's the next zombie apocalypse or something happens, and what if I need, cash? Well, today I just say, look, if there really is some apocalyptic event that happens and there's a meltdown, let's say, of a financial system, or we do have like a strain of a virus that wipes out most of humanity, understand that the new currency will then become water and bullets. None of this really matters anyway. So understand, let's not get to far-fetched, ideas like that. So let's stick for reality at this point in time and what we've been seeing in the last, thousands or so years of civilization. Understand that these are factors that can be detrimental to the growth of your portfolio, right? You need, on a fundamental basis, money was meant to be employed, right? Either you work for the money or the money works for you. So you need to actively get out of the safety mindset. It's okay to take a little bit of risk, especially the younger you are, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s. It's okay to take risk. By the time you hit your 50s and 60s, you're starting to plan for retirement, you want to retire. That's when you need to start playing it safe. And by safe, I don't mean bank accounts. I mean doing things that are going to generate consistency in income, regardless of what happens in the market. They're going to get you better rates of return than a bank will. If you want to discuss that information, feel free to drop me a line at the office, email me, make a phone call. Let's talk about what some of those strategies are. We have people we work with all over the world. We'd love to help you. Give me a ring, and we look forward to helping with you. I hope this was helpful, and happy investing.